I'm Steph Strickland with GeekWire Studios. We are here at NVIDIA GTC 2026. I am joined now by John Haarer, the General Manager, Asia Pacific and Japan with Nebius. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Well, you're a new hire here at Nebius, so tell me a little bit about your initial sort of impressions of the company. This is one way to make an entry.
It is. I think the pace and scale that this business operates at are really mind-blowing. I think if you look just over the course of the last week, we announced a $2 billion investment from NVIDIA last week, a $27 billion deal with Meta just earlier today. I've never seen anything move this fast at this scale before in my career, so it's been a lot of fun.
This involved you packing up and making a pretty substantial move. What sort of informed your decision to go through with this?
Location-wise? So I think for me, I will be relocating back to Singapore as part of this job. I've been in Japan for the last 5 years. I was in Singapore for 5 years before that. Both still feel like home to me. Feel very, very privileged to have spent time in both countries. So it was a pretty easy decision. I think when we think about where's going to be the hub for us in Asia, I think Singapore is a pretty natural choice. Makes the rest of the region accessible, and I think it's going to be the easiest place for us to scale the right team to go capitalize on the market opportunity in Asia.
So I do want to talk about how markets in APJ differ than maybe they do here.
It's a good question. I think when it comes to this wave of AI adoption that we've seen, I think you're actually seeing a lot of markets in Asia outpace the West. We didn't necessarily see that with cloud adoption. I think most of Asia tend to lag a little bit behind when it comes to migrating from on-premise to cloud, but with AI, I think you're seeing markets like Singapore, South Korea, India in particular really move at a faster pace than most of the rest of the world. Of course, they're all very different, and I think all have a really different role to play when it comes to mass AI adoption at scale, but that's part of what's exciting about it.
What do you think is driving that? If it does sort of go against the way when they went from on-prem into the cloud, is it more so the sort of industry that they're looking to support? What's driving it now?
Well, I think one of the things that's driving it is there's a lot of talent in the market. There's a lot of available capital. And I think what you're seeing, there's a lot of demand for at the moment is actually what we're bringing to the table, which is true AI native cloud and more computing power. I think that's what's been slow to move into the market, and I think that's where we have a really big opportunity to come make a difference for our customers in that part of the world.
For folks like myself who attend conferences like this across a couple of different verticals, there's always a buzzword that stands out. But I am curious, from an APJ standpoint, what is the buzzword there?
I think Agentic AI is something that we're hearing more and more about. Obviously, a really big theme of this event here this week has been physical AI, robotics. I think you're seeing a tremendous amount of activity in those categories throughout Asia, particularly in markets with a rich manufacturing history like Japan or South Korea, for example. But I think the one buzzword that seems to be top of mind for everybody right now is compute, and we need more of it. That's the single biggest thing that I'm hearing from customers in my first few weeks in the business.
So interesting then to see Nebius really step up to the plate in terms of working with hyperscalers while still delivering to the rest of the market. Out of curiosity, oftentimes when we talk about success in this space, we frame it around revenue. And revenue, of course, is key. But what are some of the other benchmarks of success in the space right now?
Well, I think as somebody working with our customers on a day-to-day basis, always the most rewarding thing for me or our teams in the field is getting to see what they're actually doing with the platform, right? So I spent my first week in Singapore meeting with a lot of our early adopters in the region. We have a lot of customers in healthcare and life sciences doing drug discovery and very advanced research in that domain. And every single person that I talk to who've been in these fields for 20 or 30 years is saying what used to take them 5 to 10 years worth of research, they can now get done in a period of days or weeks. And seeing the real life, I think, application of that research and of that work that our customers are doing is always the most rewarding part of the work that we do. So I think that, of course, the business is important, revenue growth is important, but seeing how this stuff is actually changing the world around us is always the most rewarding part.
John, congratulations on joining the Nebius team, and I wish you all the continued success.
Thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I'm Steph Strickland. You're watching GeekWire Studios.